Next one is going to be the folder. Now this is not some kind of organizational thing that you'd expect with a name like folder. It's actually a distortion unit. So it's described as somewhere between saturation and a hard sync effect. It allows you to basically drive the signal to create different types of distortion. So the effect it's going to have is dependent on the input level, the mode that we select here, and both the drive and offset characteristics. Now you can even get almost kind of phase modulation style effects with this folder effect as well. Okay, let's have a listen to it. So first of all, we have our different modes. We have sinus, triangle, wrap, and spiky. So let's have a go at these. So they kind of get brighter as we go down. These two just have a different kind of tone to them. But yeah, you've got 4 different modes that you can play with. Mix control, obviously we can dial that in. Drive is going to drive the input level in to get more effect. So that's why it's described as having phase modulation style effects. Can you hear that almost sounds kind of like FM modulation? Now the offset control is going to again affect the tonal characteristic of this. And it does this by altering the operating point of the algorithm. And obviously that would be a good one to modulate as well to get some more movement in there. And we have a high quality anti-aliasing mode or just a standard mode. So if you've got the kind of CPU headroom, you can whack it into the high quality mode. And that's the folder, so another flavor of distortion we've got there. Next up we have a frequency shifter. Now this we may recognize from Massive 1. It allows you to shift the incoming signal in frequency. Mix control allows us to dial it in. Let's bring the filter up. The frequency actually denotes the frequency we're shifting to. Obviously, if we had the mix all the way up, we'll just hear that. And with the mix blending, we can blend between both signals. Now we can also feed this back into itself. It's going to make the effect more pronounced. Now you may notice we have this wide button here. Now this control allows you to double the range of the frequency dial. So it's a more extreme effect with that switched on. Very cool, the frequency shifter. Great for creating interesting effect sounds. Okay, so next up we have a distortion. Now this provides non-linear distortion characteristics. So we have these different modes here, 5 of them. And each mode has got a kind of visual representation below. Just think of them as different flavors of distortion. Let's have a listen to them. So yeah, just different flavors that you can play with. Drive control drives the input in to get kind of more distortion. Mix control dials it in. High quality again for that anti-aliasing. And that's our distortion unit. Okay, so we have 2 oscillator options here. Now I'm going to come back to those and do a separate video on them because they're kind of deserving of a special mention. So park those and we're going to come back to them. Next up we have a ring modulator. Now Massive 1 users will remember the ring modulator from Massive 1. Now what ring modulators do is mix the frequency of two different waveforms, and they then output the sum and difference of those two frequencies. And it creates a cool kind of sci-fi-ish effect. Let's have a listen to it. So we tune it from here. Let's actually change our waveform to something a bit more basic. So we'll go for a sine wave. So we get that classic kind of sci-fi ring mod effect. So sum and difference frequencies. And determining on the tuning here is going to give you different effects. So if the tuning of the two oscillators, because think of this as being an oscillator as well, when they're tuned to be very harmonious, like that, then you get very harmonious intervals created. But if they're less harmonious, you get a different style effect. And it also depends on the type of waveform we have here. So different harmonics created by the oscillator from our wavetable, it's going to have different effects on the ring modulator. We've got an invert button, which inverts the polarity of the waveform. Now underneath the tuning here, we've got two modulation slots where we can actually modulate the ring modulator. Now when we have the ratio option selected, it's going to create a ratio depending on the MIDI note we play. So for example, if we had a ratio of 3, the MIDI note would cause the ring modulator to generate a frequency 3 times higher. If it was fixed, it wouldn't change. You can see. No matter what note I play, that's now fixed. And key track obviously is going to be tracked to the MIDI note that I play, as you'd expect. And that is our ring modulator. Okay, next up we have sample and hold. Now this is another distortion style effect, and it again has a kind of bit crushy sound. Let's just choose a sine wave. It allows you to create just another flavor of distortion, adding harmonics, changing the character of your sound. Now with the high quality on, we have more of an analog sound, and when it's off, it's more of a digital sound. And again, we can choose the key track to fix. So in this case, the pitch is not changing. Depending on what notes I play. The pitch of the main oscillator is changing, of course, but the pitch of the sample and hold is not changing. And key track, obviously track to MIDI, ratio is operating as a ratio against the MIDI note we play. So in this case, it's going to be 4 times the frequency of the MIDI note we play. So that's part 2 of our insert effects. In the next video, we're going to carry on and have a look at part 3.